All right, old school NBA fans, self-research, NBA facts. Got another video for you. As always, thanks to anybody who watches my videos, subscribes to my channel. I really appreciate it. In this video here, very interesting one. Again, this is why, for me personally, one of the reasons why I have Bill Russell and Michael Jordan in the GOAT discussion and no one else. It's just those two. I got Jordan as the GOAT, but Russell is definitely in the conversation. Okay. So what this video is I took my top 25 all-time players, which is probably most people's, you're going to find them within your top 30, I guarantee it. How they did against teams that were below a top 2 seed. So a 3 seed or lower. How did each all-time great do? And this is regardless of what seed you are. Whatever seed you are, doesn't matter. So I'll get right into it. Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic, in 2019, I think they were the 2 seed. They lost to Portland, who was the 3 seed. They were 53-29. In 2022, they lost to Golden State, who was the 3 seed, 53-29. And I put a star here if it was not an upset, and I put an X if it was an upset. And then last year in 2024, Minnesota was a 3 seed, and they upset Denver, 56-26. So all told, Nikola Jokic 3 times has lost to a 3 seed or lower. Like I said, not all these are upsets or whatever, but that's what makes this so powerful. Because this is regardless of how good your team was. All right. Giannis, in 2020, lost to Miami. Upset. Miami was the 5 seed with a 44-29 record. All right. Also, in 2023, Miami was the 8 seed. And I know Giannis only played 3 games, but if you played over half the series. Actually, even when Giannis played, they lost games. So I think they actually won. I think they lost both games that he played in. So it didn't matter. Okay. So, and then this, 2020 Miami, 2023 Miami. So actually, that should be twice. Giannis has lost to a team that was a 3 seed or higher, because 2024 doesn't count because Giannis didn't play. So it's actually only twice for him. Elgin Baylor. Now, these older players have a big advantage because there was only 4 teams, in the conference, basically, in a lot of these situations. So, it's not going to happen often, but it does happen. Elgin Baylor, 1969, against Boston, who was the 4 seed. It was an upset. Boston was 48-34. That's it. One upset for Elgin Baylor. Even though there was pretty much his whole career, there was only 4 teams in each division, each conference. David Robinson, 1991, lost to Golden State, who was the 7 seed. Golden State was only 44-38. 1994 against Utah. 1995 against Houston. 1996 against Utah. 2001 against Phoenix, and 2003 against the Lakers. The Lakers were a 3 seed. Phoenix was a 5 seed. All told, David Robinson 6 times has lost to a 3 seed or lower. All right. Bob Pettit. Bob Pettit, only 1 time, and it was his last year he ever played. They lost to Baltimore, who was the 3 seed, a 37-43 team. It was definitely an upset. That's it. The 1 time for Bob Pettit. Kevin Durant. 2011 lost to Dallas. There was not an upset. Dallas was the 3 seed, a 57-25 team. However, Durant's got a few other ones. 2013 Memphis, they were the 5 seed. 2021 Milwaukee was the 3 seed. Even though they won the championship, for this video under this criteria, he got beat. In 2024 last year against Minnesota was the 3 seed. I think they got swept, actually. Either way, he lost to a team that was lower than a 2 seed. This happened 4 times to Kevin Durant. Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett in 03 against the Lakers. Lakers were the 5 seed. They were 50-32. That was an upset because Minnesota was the 4 that year. That's it, though. Once for Kevin Garnett. Only one time. Karl Malone, 1986 against Dallas, who was the 4 seed. They were a 44-38 team. But also, he's got 87 Golden State, 89 Golden State, 1990 Phoenix, 1993 Seattle, 95 Houston, 2000 Portland, 2001 Dallas, and 04 Detroit, for a total of 9 times Karl Malone has lost to below a 3 seed. Now, granted, sometimes, his team might have been a 4 seed, and or a 5 seed, lost to a 4. It's not an upset. But still, for the purposes of this video, 9 times Karl Malone lost to a team lower than a 2 seed. George Mikan, his last season against St. Louis, they were upset because St. Louis was the 3 seed and Minneapolis was the 2. And St. Louis is only a 33-39 team, so only once for Mikan, but it did happen. Oscar Robertson, 62 against Detroit. They were the 3 seed, only a 37-43 team. That was an upset. But he also lost to 65 Philly, who was 40-40. They were the 3 seed, but they did acquire Wilt Chamberlain mid-season. So that one, if you want, you can give him a break. But also in 1973 against Golden State, as the 1 seed, lost to 4 seed Golden State. It was 47-35. So 3 times for Oscar. Steph Curry. You think that Curry got away with it? He didn't. Steph Curry in 2014 against the Clippers lost to the 3 seed. They were 57-25. It was not an upset. That's fine. But he still lost to a team lower than a 2 seed. 2023 Lakers were the 7 seed, 43-39. Golden State had home court advantage. That was an upset. So twice for Curry. Moses Malone, 1979 Atlanta. They were the 5 seed, 46-36. Also, 82 Seattle was a 3 seed. 84 New Jersey, the 6 seed. 87 Pistons, the 3 seed. 1990 Milwaukee, the 5 seed. 5 times for Moses Malone. Jerry West, 1969 against Boston, just like Elgin Baylor. Boston won the championship. They were a 4 seed. That's the only time, once. Okay? Dr. J, happened to him 4 times. 78 against Washington, who was a 3 seed. 77, Portland was a 3 seed. They won it all. Actually, Washington won it all in 77. Portland won it all in Washington in 78. Portland in 77. But then they got upset in 86 by New Jersey, who was only the 6 seed. And 87 against Milwaukee, Dr. J's last year. And actually, that wasn't 86. That was 84. 84. That's what year that was. And all told, Dr. J, 4 times. Dr. J lost to a team 3 seed or lower. LeBron James, 07 finals against San Antonio. They got swept. Now, I know, everybody's saying, oh, well, that's, whatever. Cleveland was the 2 seed, okay? San Antonio was the 3 seed. Yes, San Antonio had a better record. They had championship pedigree. They were the better team, no doubt about it. But for purposes of this video and this criteria, he lost to a 3 seed, period. 58-24. They were better than Cleveland, no doubt about it. But what about 09 Orlando? They were the 3 seed. Cleveland was the number 1 seed. How about 2010 against Boston? Boston was the 4 seed, and Cleveland was number 1 seed. 2011 Dallas. People seem to forget Dallas was the 3 seed. They weren't even the best team. They were the hottest, but they weren't even the best team. They were the 3 seed. Miami was the 2 seed. 4 times for LeBron James. He lost to a 3 seed or lower. How about Shaq? Shaq's got a bunch of them. 94 against Indiana. They were the 5 seed. That's an upset. 95 against Houston. They were the 6 seed. That's an upset. 2007 against the Bulls. They were a 4 seed. That was not an upset. Also 04 against Detroit. They were the 3 seed. That was an upset. The Lakers were heavily favored to win that in the finals. And 2008 against San Antonio. Shaq was playing on Phoenix then. They were the 6. It wasn't an upset, but still, San Antonio was the 3 seed. 2010, Shaq's Cleveland was the number 1 seed, just like LeBron, lost to Boston. It was the 4 seed. 6 times for Shaq, lost to a 3 seed or lower. Tim Duncan, 2002 Lakers, they were the 3 seed, 58-24. Actually, San Antonio was the better team. Duncan also lost to 06 Dallas, who was the 4 seed, while San Antonio was the 1. 09 Dallas was the 6 seed. The Spurs were the 3. 2011 Memphis, this was a bad upset. San Antonio was the 1 seed. Memphis was the 8 seed. 2015 against the Clippers. I think San Antonio was only the 6 seed, the Clippers the 3 seed. It wasn't an upset, but still lost to a 3 seed. And then in 2016, his last season, the Spurs lost to Oklahoma City, who was the 3 seed, and San Antonio was the 2 seed, and they got beat. So all told for Duncan, that's 6 times that he lost to a 3 seed or lower. And I realize some of these are not upsets. I know you think, well, what's the big deal? I'll get to it at the end of the video, I promise. Hakeem Olajuwon, he also lost 6 times. 85 Utah, his rookie year. Houston was the 3, Utah was the 6. 41-41. That's, I think, one of 2 times that Olajuwon got upset. That was it. 1 of 2. The next one was in 87 against Seattle. Seattle was the 7 seed. Houston was the 6 seed. That's the other one. That's it. Olajuwon never got upset again. But he lost to 88 Dallas, who was the 3 seed, even though his team was the 6. 89 Seattle, they were the 4 seed, even though Houston was the 5. 91 Lakers, Houston was the 6, but the Lakers were the 3 seed. And then in 99, Houston was the 5 and the Lakers were the 4 seed. 6 times all total for Olajuwon, which is in line with a lot of these other guys. You know, they got between 4 and 6, most of them, except for the old timers like Jerry West, George Mikan, Bob Pettit, Elgin Baylor. They just didn't have a lot of lower seeds to even play. You know what I mean? Like, you're the 1 seed, so you'll play like the 4 seed, or maybe you even get a bye, and you know you're playing. I think they might have even gave them a bye right away, and you just play the winner of the 2-3 seed. You win that, you're in the finals. So that's just how it was back then. All right, Wilt Chamberlain. Despite having that advantage for this criteria, still, a lot of people talk about, well, Wilt Chamberlain, you know, that Boston was always better than them. Blah, blah, blah. Well, then why did Wilt Chamberlain, nobody ever brings this up. In 1961, his second year, he was MVP as a rookie in 1960. In 61, they get beat by Syracuse, the 3 seed. A 38-41 team beats Wilt Chamberlain. Explain that one to me. Exactly. And then in 1969, Boston, the 4 seed, the Lakers were, favored to win heavily to win that series. Boston's the 4 seed out east, beat them in the finals, and twice Wilt Chamberlain lost to a 3 seed or lower. All right, Larry Bird, only happened to him twice. 1990, the Knicks, they were the 5 seed, 45-37. That was an upset. 91, Detroit was 50-32. They were the 3 seed. That was also an upset. Only twice for Bird, although I think it was 1983 that Milwaukee was technically the 2 seed, but Boston had home court advantage, because they had a better record, but because Milwaukee won the division, so technically, yeah, Milwaukee might have been the 2 seed, but really they were they were treated like the 3 seed playing the 6 seed. So basically, Boston was really the second best team in the conference. But anyway, technically, no. Bird only twice for him. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 73 against Golden State. The 4 seed, 47-35 team. That's an upset. 1978 Seattle. LA's the 4, Seattle's the 5. That's an upset. And in 1981 against Houston, they were a 40-42 team, the 6 seed, and they beat the Lakers. So 3 times for Kareem. Even though in 86, Kareem did get upset by Houston, Houston was the 2 seed. So for purposes of this video and this criteria, that doesn't matter. Okay, Kobe Bryant, 04 finals against Detroit. Detroit's the 3 seed, 54-28, an upset. 2011 Dallas was a 3 seed, and Kobe's team was actually, I believe, the 2 seed that year. They lost in the semifinals. They were. So twice for Kobe. He lost to a 3 seed each time. Magic Johnson, only twice for him also. 81 Houston, just like Kareem. They were the 6 seed, a 40-42 team. Then in 1990, Phoenix, the 5 seed, upset when Magic was the 1 seed. And then that's it. Twice for Magic that he lost to a 3 seed or lower. But then you get down here to Bill Russell. Well, that never happened, but he had a huge advantage, not even having to deal with the 3 seed most of the time. Not till later on in his career. He just didn't have to deal with it much, to tell you the truth. He was always playing the 1 and, the 2 seed usually in his conference, then the 1 seed in the finals, or the 2, whatever it was. He barely even had to deal with that, really. So Russell is almost exempt from this, you could say. But Michael Jordan never lost to a 3 seed or less. Now, here's why that's significant. Because when Jordan got beat by teams, his rookie year in 85, they were a 7 seed. Milwaukee was the 2. In 86, Boston was the 1 seed. The Bulls were the 8. In 87, Boston was the 1 seed. The Bulls were the 8. In 88, the Bulls were the 3 seed. They played Cleveland, who was a 6 seed. Well, of course, that means they're under a 3 seed. They beat them. Then in the next round of the semifinals, they played Detroit, who was the 2 seed. So that's a 2 seed. Okay, whatever. Then in 89, the Bulls are starting out as the 6 seed. So they could easily have lost, but they didn't. They beat the 3 seed Cleveland. Then they beat 2-seeded Knicks, and then they played the number 1 seed Detroit in the conference finals. They lost that, yes. Okay. Then the other opportunity really to lose to a team like that, I mean, it could have been any of them really. Like in 91, the Bulls were the 1 seed. They played Detroit, the 3 seed in the conference finals. The Bulls beat them. But every year when the Bulls won their championships, in the first 2 rounds, they're playing a team 3 seed or under. Nobody ever beat them in that situation. In 95, the Bulls were the 5 seed. Charlotte was the 4 seed. Home court advantage. The Bulls beat them. The Bulls lost to the number 1 seed, Orlando. Every time the Bulls played a team seeded 3 through 8, they won. They have a record of 18-0 against teams under a 2 seed. 12-7 versus 1 or 2 seeds. In fact, the only time they ever lost to a 2 seed, I believe, was in 1988 when Detroit was the 2. That's it. And the only time they ever lost as a 2 seed was in 1990, Eastern Conference Finals against Detroit. That was the game when Pippen had the migraine. The Bulls shot 11 for 57 in Game 7 and all that. But incredible. Michael Jordan and Bill Russell, but of course Russell didn't really have to deal with it much at all. He's almost like not even worth mentioning in this particular video. But Michael Jordan, the only player out of all 25 to never lose to a team below a 2 seed. Now, you can use any excuse, any reasoning, anything you want, but the fact remains, out of all 25 of these all-time great players, there's 2 guys. One didn't deal with it much, Bill Russell, and the other one was Michael Jordan. Now, like I said, you can explain it away, make any excuse. You could talk about injuries, or you could talk about, watered down, overrated. Use any possible excuse you want to use. But the fact remains that Michael Jordan was the only one on this whole list that never lost to a 3 through 8 seed in his whole career. Period. Point blank. End of story. That's it. Like I said, you want some context. You can use whatever you want. But that's the bottom line, and that's how it is. Another reason why Michael Jordan is the undoubted, undisputed GOAT, And anybody who doesn't think so just doesn't understand. They just either don't know basketball or they got an agenda, one or the other. So anyway, that's all I got for this video. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. I give daily content, very active in the comments. So anyway, that's it for now.